Hi, my name is Jane Powell. Welcome to Community Connections, a show brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. This is a show showcasing community involvement. We have a great program to talk today about. We're going to speak with Becca Revercomb. Becca, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
You are the facilitator of Table Talk. So I can't wait for you to tell us about Table Talk and who it involves and what it's doing. So jump right in. Describe Table Talk.
Table Talk is basically dinner and discussions involving local Kanawha County school teachers with 0 to 3 years experience. And we meet twice a month, every other Thursday. And the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation buys their meals, which is a rarity for a public school teacher. And we sit down in a large table-like setting, and we eat, and we discuss beginning teacher issues. And I merely facilitate. They come up with the ideas and the things that they need to discuss and the questions they have. And so I facilitate the meetings and the conversations and keep time when we're talking too late, and we have occasional guest speakers. So it's actually about them and what they need, and not about me at all.
So it is for beginning teachers that
Yes,
are in
ma'am.
the very early years of their career,
Yes.
the first, second, or third year of their career teaching.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And those can be challenging years for a teacher.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, they're just getting real world experience.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit how Table Talk came together.
Well, Table Talk is based upon a podcast that Deborah Sullivan, who is a current State Board of Education member and also the former principal at Charleston Catholic High School.
Mm-hmm. And she is also a board member of the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation.
She absolutely is as well. And she heard a podcast about an organization in Philadelphia that is trying still to this day to retain qualified beginning teachers into the program in the area, in the Philadelphia area, but with a long-term goal of keeping them in the profession forever, for the rest of their career. We lose too many.
So it started with her hearing a podcast, and we're like, hey, we can do this in Charleston. So that's where you come in. Deborah recruited you.
She did. I'm very flattered.
And why did she recruit you?
Well, we have a past history. My children went through Charleston Catholic High School, and were not always the best behaved, but very memorable in her mind. And we just loved her to death, our whole family. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for her. She's my hero.
Well, there's that, yes, of course. But you also have a long career
I do.
as a teacher.
I do.
And so you bring that experience to the
Yes,
table.
ma'am.
And I'm sure that you remember, as you were starting your career, the challenges in the first few years.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As you can tell from the hair, I earned every one of these. But I began my teaching career in 1981, which we call back in the day, at Sherman High School in Boone County. And I walked in to senior classes as a 22-year-old, and I
Not
can
much older
remember,
than your students.
No, and can remember being very, very intimidated by that. And I could have used a mentor, or actually not a mentor. That's not what I do. I'm more of a facilitator. Could have used a facilitator or a mentor.
So when we say facilitator for the tabletop groups that are convening now, tell me. And you meet for an hour twice a month, is that right?
That is correct.
So for that hour, give me an idea of what you guys talk about.
Well, we first come in and we order our food, we sit down, and the table talk meaning talking at the table. And so we start out generally with the first half hour as just an open discussion format. And the second half hour, occasionally I will target a discussion such as discipline, which is a big one that comes up a lot, and the strike, and the Reading Language Arts series and how to navigate through a day and dealing with parents and just anything that serves to help specifically a beginning teacher. So it's not always about implementing things in the classroom, although there has been some of that that has occurred, but it's about just navigating the waters of all of the responsibilities that they have and all the different people and organizations they have to answer to. It's
Right.
very intimidating.
Which is so much more than people realize.
Oh, absolutely.
And so this gives them a forum to talk freely among peers.
Yes, without being judged, without being graded or rated on anything, and they essentially drive the conversation, and they set up the discussions that we're going to have, and then I try to facilitate that if a guest speaker needs to come in, or if we just need to do some more research before we come back in the next meeting, so we'll know what we're talking about.
And you mentioned guest speakers.
Yes.
So do you have a guest speaker every time, or?
No.
But you have had several people that have come and spoke to your group.
We have. The first 3 months of the program, we started in October, it was just us and trying to recruit members, build the membership, and just get to know one another. We started in January with our first guest speaker, and we've had 4 so far, one even involving a field trip. We actually had a field trip as well.
I love that. That's great. Yeah, really fun. And are you hearing it as you have worked through discussions now for several months? Are the teachers feeling comfortable? Are they able to use? Do you hear stories about they've implemented ideas or that have helped them with challenges in their classrooms?
Yes, ma'am. According to what they have given to me, they have implemented especially some discipline techniques in the classroom and a grading method that one teacher uses. And they tell me that they just feel better after they walk out of the dinner, and they feel better for the next day at least, because they've been able to air some things in a non-judgmental manner and without fear of insulting a principal or another staff member or another teacher. So, and it's in confidence. So what we discuss there stays at the table.
Well, and it's nice that they can talk with someone that is in their stage of the career.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
You're there to offer guidance and experience, but they're also talking with people that are probably dealing with the same challenges.
Oh, absolutely. And as we all know, I think, whether you're involved in education or not, that kids have changed a lot since I began my first teaching job. And one thing that I enjoy that I actually learned from them, it's not just this one-way street, is this technology that confounds me. And they've been able to help me with some things. They've helped me with data collection and how to do a spreadsheet. And I've also learned from them about programs and trainings that they take and hoops they have to jump through that I did not when I was a beginning teacher. So these young teachers are having to deal with even more than what teachers back in the day have had to deal with.
Right. Different issues. I'm
Different
sure
issues,
there were
yes, ma'am.
many issues when you started as well, but these are just maybe some different ones.
Yes, ma'am.
So the schools that are participating right now, or were targeted schools in the beginning of the program, we're here in Kanawha County, is that right?
Yes.
And most of the schools are still in Kanawha County.
They are, all of them, in fact.
So we're talking about schools, Mary C. Snow, Piedmont, Cedar Grove, Pratt. These are all schools that have been invited, and you've expanded now, is that right?
Yes.
So I hear you're getting almost a dozen teachers at these meals.
We are. We've added Malden Elementary and Midland Trail. I don't know I can't remember if you mentioned that. And we also have a substitute teacher, beginning teacher who has not gotten a permanent job yet, and she's coming to the training, she said, so she can use these strategies in the elementary classrooms where she serves.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I guess maybe that's the one thing we should talk about. It is for elementary school teachers.
Yes, currently, yes.
And that's kindergarten through 5. So first, second, and third year teachers in their career that are teaching K through 5
Yes.
are the target audience for this. And it is open to any of those teachers.
Oh, absolutely. We have a teacher of autism, we have a music classroom teacher, and then that substitute. So we're drawing in what I think is a very diverse and interesting group. They can learn from one another in ways that I cannot contribute.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. And then when you talk about that you do meet over a meal, I think that probably serves, everyone loves to break bread together. I think that's always a very communal thing to do. And it saves time, and you're supporting a local business, generally a Panera type business, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's wonderful. I love all those reasons to get together at dinner time. And you do keep it quick so that it's not an all evening activity.
No. Now, sometimes we go beyond. So one of my roles as facilitator is to set the iPhone and make sure that everyone is staying on track.
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
That's an important job.
Well, yes, it is. But it's also important to know that the time commitment, although this is very valuable, that you're still able to go home and enjoy your evening and do whatever to take care of your family and your life outside of the school.
They're busy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Tell me, what's next for Table Talk?
Well, what's next for Table Talk is some collecting of data, which I'm most definitely going to require their help. I barely know what a spreadsheet is. And planning for the second year. And they will have a lot of input in that. They're helping to guide that bus. So I think that's wonderful. And some of them will return. So I'm looking forward to that.
And I'm guessing it is just a school year program that you guys,
yes.
taking the summer off.
Yes, ma'am.
So
unless you work at Mary C. Snow or Piedmont.
Okay, that's right. And we didn't talk about ways to get in touch with, of course, they could always call the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation office, but you do have an email, and they can email you directly. And that is Becca R-E-V, excuse me, BECCAREV@gmail.com.
Yes,
and that comes directly to you.
it does.
And that you can guide people that are interested in meeting dates and times and locations and finding out if it's a good fit for them, if they kind of meet the criteria of the program, and that they're the right person.
May we also give a shout out to Stephanie Heyer
Oh,
at
of
the
course.
Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, who is the program director, who is my go-to, and I'm sure she gets far too many texts from me, but she has been instrumental in helping us guide this in the right direction.
Stephanie is the Senior Program Officer of the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation, and she does specialize in education, and she's great. I totally agree with you. So as we begin to close, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, but I encourage teachers that are in their early stages of their career to reach out to you and learn how you can help them and how they can be part of this community to strengthen their skills. Because I think it's just wonderful.
Well, thank you for having me, and it's an important program, and we're hoping that eventually it will spread to different counties and possibly involve some of the older students, but it's a bit too early to commit to that yet.
Yeah, I see great growth for it. Well, I do. So I'm so happy to learn about Table Talk. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been the Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We'll see you next time.